I finished my hexagon jacket. Look at this. 3 seams, 2 hexagons, and about 25 hours of crochet. I love how the fit works. Straight from the hexagons, if you look at this, it slopes back towards the body, and the sleeve doesn't get in the way. Here's a close-up of the back. There's the seam at the top of a sleeve going all the way down. There's no seams underneath here. That's all part of the hexagon. Really yummy color. Made with Pound of Love Maize colored yarn, just the worsted Pound of Love. It took 1 1/4 of yarn. This is a heavy coat. It's not a lightweight jacket. It's got some weight to it. I'll put right here how much it actually weighs. This fabric is so nice. It's very warm. It's very cozy, kind of squishy. It is 100% acrylic. I wanted something that I could throw in the washing machine and not have to worry about it. I'm so excited. I hope that you get some value from this video, get some interesting tips and tricks, and remember to click that subscribe button, like the channel, and share the video if you find value in it. This is not sponsored by Lion Brand or anything. I'm just using the Lion Brand Pound of Love because I love this color. This color is Maize. It is a yellowy, it's kind of a brownish yellow. It's not orange like their pumpkin or pumpkins, and it's not brown like the pumpkin spice. This is, but it is it's more like a yellow ochre. It's a very natural yellow color, but it's not a bright sunshine yellow. It's a cozy cuddle up type yellow. So you can either do, you know, a single chain and just work all the way around in the single chain. You can't tighten it down though. So I'm going to try and get a magic loop on here. I'm just going under, grabbing the, see how I clipped the working yarn between my finger there? I'm going to grab the working yarn, come on, and come through that little twisted loop. And then I'm going to make a chain and make a double crochet. I do not do chain 2 for my double crochets. I do a chain 1, and I just kind of absorb that chain 1 into my actual stitch. So now I'm going to go around and I am going to do 2 more double crochet. 1, 2. Now I'm kind of figuring that if you're watching this, you probably already know how to do a double crochet, but I will show you in case you don't. Then I'm going to do 1 chain, 3 double crochets. So a double crochet, you're going to wrap the yarn over, go into the loop, grab your yarn. So now you've got 3 loops on your yarn. You're going to wrap the yarn over, pull through 2, wrap the yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1 double crochet. Wrap the yarn over. I go in through the middle of my loop. See, I've got a big loop here. And you can pull this down and make your loop a little smaller so it's easier to hold on to. I like to put my fingers in a finger in the loop though, and then pinch the other side of it here. You see what I'm doing? So I'm putting my finger in the loop and pinching. Now I'm going to go wrap the yarn over, go inside, and do you see how I'm working over the tail yarn there too? That's part of the magic loop. You're going to work over the tail. Don't let it fall out. If you do, you're not going to be able to pull your yarn down as easily. Wrap the yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2. Yarn over, inside the loop, grab the yarn, wrap the yarn, pull through 2. That's 3 more double crochet and chain 1. Double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. That's 3, chain 1. Now I'm going to do that to get 3 more of these bundles of double crochet. And I'll meet you back here. All right, I've gone all the way around. My magic loop is still all open. I'm going to pull down. See how that pulls it down nice and tight? So you're going to want to take your yarn end, put it on a darning needle, and run it around a couple times in that loop to keep it down nice and tight. We're going to slip stitch, because we've already done our single chain. We're going to slip stitch into the top of the double crochet from the very beginning. Remember, I'm absorbing that little single chain into my double crochet. So this is my first stitch on the top. I'm going to slip stitch, my ring is joined. I'm going to 1 chain, turn, and now I'm going to work into that gap right here. I'm saying that 1 chain right here is part of my double crochet. Now I'm going to do 2 sets of 3 double crochets. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1 chain, then 1, 2, 3. This is actually setting up the corners and our increases. This is where we are starting to set up this part of it. So you need six bundles like this. No chain in between. You're just going to at the end. So now I've got 3 double crochet, 1 chain, 3 double crochet. I'm going to go to my next 1 chain loop here on the previous row and do exactly the same thing. 3 double crochet, 2, 3, single chain, 3 double crochet, so now I'm going to go to the next chain 1 space. I'll meet you back here when we are getting ready to move on to our first actual pattern row. All right, so there we are. This is the setup rounds are all done. Now we're going to start doing the actual pattern rows. And on the actual pattern rows, once you've got your pattern down, you don't really have to even think about it because it grows all by itself. So what I'm going to do here is I am looking at my 3 chain or my 3 double crochets. I'm going to slip stitch into the top, right there. I'm going to chain 1, turn. So we are actually in the middle of a row here on an open space. This is not a corner, all right? Our corners are on either side of it. This is the first spike stitch. I'm going to do my spike stitch by doing a double crochet into the gap. And remember, my first chain up here, I'm just absorbing that as part of my double crochet. What that does is it makes a very seamless, you don't know where my where my row joins are, because I'm doing that. I'm doing that single crochet, that single chain up and absorbing it into my first double crochet. So double crochet. Now we're going to do a yarn over, and you see the chain down here, this one right there. I'm going to go under that chain in the row before, pull up. Now when I pull up, I'm coming back up to the top of my row here. So that's a long piece of yarn going up. That gives you this bit right here. See? That little bit right there. So now you've got a long double crochet. You don't want to pull it down tight and try working down in front. That doesn't work. You have to pull it up so it's the same height as your previous double crochet. And then finish the double crochet. Now, where I differ from other people doing spike stitch, other people would go back to that gap and go in the gap and do their double crochet. I don't. To make this gapless, I'm going into the top of this double crochet. I'm going underneath of this V right here. So I'll show you. Right there on the top, I'm going under that one and making a double crochet. That's my first spike stitch. Now I'm going to go into the corner, which is between those two sets of 3, and do 2 sets of 3. So double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 1 chain. I only do a single chain in the middle between. Other people I've seen do 2. It's just the way I'm doing it, but I know that the way I'm doing it is going to give me that really pretty shaping. I like how it's shaping it into this really pretty kind of diagonal shape. And on the front, I'm getting this really pretty diagonal pointed down. All right, so now we've got our 3 double crochet, single chain, 3 double crochet. If you are in the UK, this is all being done in treble crochet. I am not putting a chain. I am going to make a double crochet into that next gap, just like you would for a granny square or a granny stitch. Now I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go into the top of the stitch below, down here, pull it up, pull through, pull through. So now we've got our spike stitch. And that spike covers that gap down below. But to make it really gap free is I'm going to go and do a double crochet into the top of the first double crochet next, right there. That's my second spike stitch. I will meet you when we're doing the next spike stitch. We're ready for the next spike stitch. So it's double crochet, long double crochet, so that's the spike going down. So I'm on this row right here where I would be going into this loop. I'm going to come down and go into the top of the chain or top of the double crochet below, pull the yarn up so that I make my stitch the same height right there. Then my next one, I'm going into the top of the double crochet next stitch. See that? Now we're going to do the corner, next spike stitch, double crochet into the gap, long double crochet into the top of the row below, double crochet into the top of the next double crochet, and corner. Now we're going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet of that, or of this round, slip stitch, one chain. We're going to turn over the work, and now you're going to have 2 spike stitches on each side, but we're in the one closest to the corner. So we're going to do a spike stitch, corner, and then 2 spike stitches, corner, 2 spike stitches, corner, all the way around, and slip stitch in. Then on the next round around, there'll be 3 spike stitches, and it just grows automatically. You don't have to do anything special to make the increases. Roughly being based on a now, if you want to see standard cardigan that's made with 2 hexagons, right there, that is the basis of your whole jacket. And you know you've got it set up right if you can fold it like that, and it looks like a little teeny tiny mini jacket. So I'll show you when I get done with that one more complete round. All right, gone all the way around. We're going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet, chain 1, and we'll be turning it over and continuing. So see now on this next row there are 3 gaps. 1, 2, 3. And if you put it together like a little sweater. So if you want to try this on something, go find a stuffed toy. Because right now, oh my gosh, look at that. So that's how it would, that's exactly how it works on a people size. So you can do this for your dolls and toys with just 3 rounds. If I did another one with just 3 rounds, I would have a gorgeous little sweater that I could put on this cute little lovey. Have fun, guys. I'm going to go and work on my sweater and get it up to this size, and then I'll come back and share with you how I do my finishing, because there's a couple little tricks to finishing this stitch so that it feels like a solid fabric all the way to the edge. All right, friends, I have both sides almost completely done. I just finished this one over here. The left-hand side is not quite ready yet. I'm going to go around the outside, and at the top here on the sleeves, I did a finishing edge just like around the sleeve here. So it is a single crochet in the corner, and then single crochets across the top of the clusters. Then when I get to the next hole, I'm doing a half double crochet spike and then single crochets. So it's changed up a little bit to make it so it is more solid and there's no holes up here. I'm not sure how it's going to look when it's all stitched. I think what I'm going to end up with here is just sort of a detail stripe going down the arm. I think I will be doing a mattress stitch, so it's going to look a little bit like that. It's going to have this little detail stripe going down the arm. I think that's going to be really pretty. I will be stitching the back together the same way with the mattress stitch, and it will have this little detail stripe going down the back. I'm going to do more rows, just straight up and down, just down and back of the double crochet spike stitch clusters. On the front, I haven't quite decided yet what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to leave this as sort of an open swing type coat. I might put some little toggles on here. I'm not sure, but I also need to see if I need to add a little bit more ease for my bust going across. Right now, this is from underarm to underarm, 19. So this is 38 inches right now around, and I need a little bit more ease. So I will probably, once I put the 2 more rows on the back, that's going to push it out like that. That's going to get me to 40. I'm going to try and get this to a point where I have just neutral. Not a lot of positive ease either. It's not negative ease. I just want it to be my measurements, I think. This is where I can work that out. I can add more rows to the back, more rows up and down this way to split it, and more rows to the front so that it can come together. That is where I'm at right now. Maybe that's what I will... Here, let's figure this out. So if I do it right about here, that's going to get me to 44-inch bust if I do it like that. So how many rows do I need to add to get to the middle here? That's what I need to figure out. So I'm going to go ahead and say, right now, I need to have an extra, basically 3 inches added here. I've already put 2 rows on this side. So, and it's easy to count your rows or see your rows because you've got a spike stitch and a spike stitch. So I know that 2 rows is 1 inch and 3/8. So 2 rows is 1 inch and 3/8. So I need to add 1 inch and 3/8. So I need to add my 2 rows to the back here. Now what's that going to leave me in the middle? About 2 rows. So I figured it out already. I need to add 1 more row to my right hand side, and I need to add 3 rows to my left hand side in the back. I need to write that down. But you see how I'm working this out. This is how I'm going to make this fit me. Now, I am not doing anything yet to the up and down to the length. And I'm probably not going to because I am short. And at this point right now, from the shoulder to the hip, it's 20 inches. Right at the top of my hip bone, I want this at the top of my hip bone down here at the bottom, because then it's going to taper down in the front like that. This is the kind of stuff that you do when you're figuring things out. But for now, I'm going to add my rows to the back here. And then I will need to add my rows to the front, which will end up being 8 rows. It'll be 4 rows on the right and 4 rows on the left. A hexagon sweater, you're basically making a giant starfish. Look at that. And then you're folding it. And the fold is super easy. If you ever get confused about how you're folding it, you just take 2 corners like this, 2 corners, and fold them, and it automatically falls into place as a half a sweater. I am so excited. I hope that you're enjoying this project. If you are, let me know by clicking that like button. If you're finding value in it, click the subscribe button and share it with your friends. Let's keep going. making a slip knot, going into the corner right here, grabbing my slip knot, pulling it through, pulling through, double crochet, double crochet. This is my corner. I've just come around like that. Now I'm going to go into the space over here. So I'm going to go double crochet. Go to the chain that's in the middle down here of the row below. That's my spike. And then because I modify and I don't go straight back into that loop there, I go into the top of the last double crochet from the row below. Double crochet. Now I'm going to reach across. I'm going to double crochet into that gap. Spike stitch down. And then double crochet into the top of the last double crochet right here for that row, and work my way across. So that's how that's going to go. It's actually partway up my arm. This is very much like a kimono type sleeve. I like that. I like that big bell. I'm going to continue working on this and get all of the rest of the back done. And like I said, I'm not adding any extra real length to the bottom. I might run around after I've got all the pieces, the two pieces. There's only two pieces. After I've got the two pieces sewn together at the back, I am probably going to just do an edge around the bottom a couple times. Not really to give me a lot of length, but to just make it feel like it all goes together. I am going to finish around the sleeves on the second one with just my single crochet with a half double for the spike going down. And I'm going to come back with the sweater all finished. Truthfully, if you want to make something like this, there's several free patterns out on the internet right now. I've got the Cozy Hexagon Cardigan pattern linked down below. It goes to somebody else's website. And here's the name of that other person's, because they very graciously have put a free pattern. But this is my pattern in that I did my modified stitch, my modified spike stitch to give it a more closed, solid feel. This has a very retro 40s feel to it almost, and I'm really digging that. Probably partly because of this color. It's got this maize color on the Pound of Love is a very, it's not bright. It's muted, sort of a mustard and yellow ochre type of color together. I really like it. I love the texture on this. I think that's part of what also makes it feel like the 1940s type of style. That's way before my time, but I'll come back and show it to you. I'll put some video in of me wearing it, probably styled a little better than over the top of a sweatshirt with my hair just thrown up from bedhead this morning. And I'm excited to get this done. So I'm going to go finish it and I'll come back and show it to you. We'll see you soon. I hope that you go out, do something creative, take care of yourself, and be kind. See ya.